There is a part of your body that exists on every human alive today. You have it. I have it. Every person you've ever met has it. But no chimpanzee has it. No gorilla has it. No orangutan has it. Not even our extinct human relatives had it in quite the same way. Scientists have spent decades trying to explain why it exists, and after all that research, they still don't know. The strangest part, you've probably looked at it thousands of times without ever questioning it. It's sitting on your face right now, and it may be one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in human evolution. The mystery is your chin. Right now, touch the bottom of your jaw. That small bump sticking out beneath your mouth, it seems completely ordinary, but in the entire animal kingdom, it is almost uniquely human. Every mammal on Earth has a lower jaw. Wolves have one. Dolphins have one. Elephants have one. Chimpanzees have one. But they don't have a chin. Their jaws slope backward. Yours doesn't. Your jaw sticks forward at the bottom, creating a feature that should not exist. And for over a century, scientists have been asking the same question. Why? At first, the answer seemed obvious. Researchers believed the chin wasn't important at all. It wasn't a special adaptation. It wasn't selected by evolution. It was just an accident, a side effect. As humans evolved larger brains, our faces gradually became flatter and smaller. The thinking went something like this. The jaw shrank. The face changed shape. And the chin was simply the leftover piece that remained at the bottom. In other words, the chin was evolutionary junk. A meaningless bump, case closed. Except there was one problem. The evidence didn't cooperate. When researchers began comparing ancient human skulls to modern ones, they discovered something unexpected. Human jaws got smaller, but chins got larger. Think about that. If the chin were merely leftover jawbone, it should have become smaller as the jaw shrank. Instead, the opposite happened. The feature became more pronounced. That is exactly the kind of pattern evolution produces when something is useful. Suddenly, the accident theory didn't look so convincing anymore, so scientists went searching for another explanation. And they found one. Maybe the chin was structural. Imagine biting down as hard as you can. Your jaw experiences enormous forces. Twisting, compression, pressure. Some researchers proposed that the chin functions like a support beam in a building, or the arch of a bridge. It helps distribute stress through the jaw and prevents damage. At first glance, this explanation sounds perfect. Evolution loves practical solutions. A stronger jaw means a better chance of survival, but once again, there was a problem. Humans are not the strongest chewers on Earth, not even close. Gorillas generate tremendous bite forces, so do many monkeys, so do countless mammals, and none of them have chins. If chewing pressure creates chins, why don't the animals that chew hardest have them? Once again, the mystery remained unsolved. Then came a much stranger possibility. Maybe the chin has something to do with language. Think about what makes humans different from every other species. It's not strength, it's not speed, it's not claws or teeth, it's communication. Humans evolved extraordinary control over their tongues, lips, and vocal systems. We can produce thousands of distinct sounds. We can tell stories, share knowledge, teach, argue, plan. Some scientists believe the chin may have developed as part of this transformation, a structural anchor that helps support the increasingly complex movements involved in speech. A jaw designed not for chewing, but for talking. Imagine that for a second. The reason you have a chin might be connected to the reason you're able to speak, to tell stories, to share ideas, to pass knowledge across generations. It's a fascinating idea. But once again, nobody can prove it. And then researchers discovered perhaps the most intriguing theory of all. The chin may be social. Humans are obsessed with faces. More than almost any other species, your brain can identify emotions in a fraction of a second. Fear, anger, trust, confidence, sadness. You read faces constantly without even realizing it. And chins happen to be one of the most variable features on the human face. No two are exactly alike. Some are wide, some are narrow, Some are sharp, some are rounded. They also change with hormones and development, which means your chin may be sending signals whether you realize it or not. Some researchers think the chin became exaggerated because humans unconsciously preferred certain facial characteristics, not because chins helped people survive, but because they helped people choose mates, build trust, and navigate increasingly complex social groups. In other words, the chin may have become part of the language of the face itself. A silent message, a visual cue, a way of communicating without speaking. And that idea leads to something much bigger. Because maybe the chin wasn't created by one force. Maybe all of these theories are partially correct. Perhaps it began as a structural feature. Then, language reinforced it. Then, social signaling exaggerated it even further. Evolution often works that way, not through a single cause, but through many small pressures acting over thousands of generations. Which brings us back to the original mystery. Why are humans the only animals with chins? The honest answer is surprisingly simple. We still don't know. Even in 2026, no explanation has been universally accepted. No theory has won. The chin remains one of the few features that makes humans uniquely human while remaining scientifically unexplained. And that is what makes it so fascinating. Because when we look at chimpanzees, gorillas, and other primates, we see creatures astonishingly similar to us. They have hands, eyes, families, emotions, intelligence, the same basic blueprint. Yet somewhere along the journey of human evolution, something changed. Language emerged, art appeared, stories spread, civilizations formed, and somehow a small bump appeared at the bottom of a jaw. A feature so ordinary that most people never notice it. Yet so strange that scientists still debate why it exists. The next time you look in a mirror, take a second look at your chin. You're staring at one of evolution's unsolved mysteries, a tiny clue left behind by the ancient humans who became us, and somewhere inside that mystery may be part of the story of how a clever primate became the species that built the modern world. The answer is still out there. We're just waiting to find it.